Good morning, everybody. I am JP, the Outlaw, the voice that makes them moist, your favorite color commentator, here to give you my raw review and results for January, 4th of July, July the 10th, 2017. They start off the show with Big Cass. He's bragging about beating Enzo, which makes no fucking sense. But Enzo, Big Cass cuts a promo. Big Show comes out to defend. You would believe to defend Big Cass, but no. Cass had made us defend Enzo, but Cass had made a statement to where as though, he's going to start with Enzo by running through everybody on the Raw roster, making his way to be the future Universal Champion. Now, I don't have a problem with that. Big Show needs something to do. Cass, horrible in-ring music. They got to do more with Cass. It's a work in progress. You're not going to get it on the first shot with everybody. Elias Sampson in the ring, cutting a singing promo. Elias, who wants to walk with Elias in the middle of the ring, my man. Finn Balor comes out, interrupts his promo. Then it was Finn Balor and Elias Sampson in the ring for a match. Decent match. Finn Balor looked great in the match. Elias Sampson, again, reminds me of Macho Man Randy Savage. Right at the tail end of his career when he did that rap album for TNA, if anybody remembers that. You's a bitch, Hulk Hogan, you's a bitch. Yeah. Pretty decent. The Hardys, Finn wins. As Finn was walking up the ramp, the Hardys come out. They cut a lovely promo. They talk about how they're not quite broken yet, how they can still go in this ring. Also about how they took the loss to Sheamus and Cesaro last night. The club comes out and, to remind them that the nostalgia act is over, that if the Hardys aren't who they used to be, they're just the old Hardys. Said, I believe that was Doc Gallows or Drew Gallows, whatever they call him this year. Ken Anderson says that they crushed dreams, and since y'all want to make magics and you're living your dream, don't step in this ring because it might get crushed, or something to that extent. The Hardys versus the Club was a pretty decent match. The Club wins dirty. Hardys not being 100%, you can tell throughout the match that they were still recovering from what had happened. Now, fucking the Revival comes out, attack the Hardys. I'm for the Hardys versus the Revival. What the fuck are you going to do with Sheamus and Cesaro? I would have rather you took the damn Hardys, took the titles off of Sheamus and Cesaro, and run the same angle with the Hardys and the Revival. Because the Revival needs decent competitors to go against to make them look good or look even better. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing them up against a Club, or who else do you have? That's it. There's only 3 tag teams on Raw. Heath Slater and Rhino. So, I don't know what's the plan for these guys. I wouldn't mind seeing a 3-way or even a 4-way match, 4-way ladder match for SummerSlam. The Club, the Hardys, the Revival, Sheamus and Cesaro. What's the problem with that? In-ring segment with The Miz Taraj, where you get your first look at the very first Mizzies. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel won Best Supporting Actor. Maurice won Lead Female, and The Miz won the Best Male Lead. So, I like this promo. I like the fact that they're sticking it to the Oscars. with the foolishness, if you ask me. I think the Miz is going to be the one to bring the Shield back together. Now, I would have preferred Bray Wyatt to do that, because you can do more with Bray Wyatt. You can tell a better story with Bray Wyatt. With the Miz, it feels like you're trying to rush and throw it together. You know what I mean? Of course, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas would make a great tag team in that division. I would have them feud with Dean on Raw. But your next pay-per-view, it should be you and Seth Rollins. Miz and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title. It has to be. Because they're not doing anything with Seth Rollins. And I think the Intercontinental title is the one title Seth Rollins hasn't had. So I wouldn't mind seeing that belt around Seth Rollins for the foreseeable future. That goes into a segment with the Miz. Dean Ambrose comes out, attacks the Miz Taraj. Miz had made some smart remarks about who won and who lost at Great Balls of Fire. And Seth Rollins' names got brought up in this. Seth Rollins comes out to defend himself. And that was pretty much the end of that promo. Backstage, you had Dean Ambrose not trusting Seth Rollins, which is fair. These two guys have went at it plenty of times in the past. Dean Ambrose truly not trusting Seth Rollins. Dean tells Seth that there will be no Shield reunion. You know, he wanted Seth Rollins to explain himself. Why the hell did you come out there? And he's like, I'm not going to let the Miz talk shit. Fair enough. You really don't need too much in the WWE as far as a build for a storyline. At least that's what they give you. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Naya. Alexa Bliss double jointed. I mean, I just want to throw that out there. I think she's fucking with Blake and Murphy. Blake, you should be happy, bro. You should be happy. Double jointed. What? Decent match. All four women looked good in the match. Even Bayley looked good. Bayley looked fucking great, picking up the win for her team. Blew my mind. Especially when they were talking about putting Bayley inside of some type of love angle with Corey Graves. Now you got her winning matches. To where it's though. Don't get me wrong, she deserves a win, but did this win push her to the title picture? Did this win solidify her as the next contender? I would rather see Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Bayley next week for the number one contender for SummerSlam. Or sometime, again, in the near future. You get a video package from Goldust talking about his shattered dreams from last week. And Goldust cuts a pretty great promo. And even runs a decent match between him and R-Truth after that. Of course, Goldust picks up the win. I think this rivalry is only on here because of R-Truth eventually moving to the WWE Network, hosting his own game show. So, with that being said, if he's going to be hosting his game show, you got to get R-Truth out there. You can't just have him play the background like you've done for most of his career. That goes into an in-ring segment with Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe. Now, the breakdown from this match, or segment was, where the fuck is Braun Strowman? Roman has already made an announcement that he will be challenging Brock Lesnar. As just to go over the segment, Kurt comes out. He gives us an update on Braun Strowman. They can't find him, and he refused medical attention. So therefore, good luck to Braun. Hope to see you soon. He invites Brock Lesnar out. He thanks Brock Lesnar for last night's pay-per-view, one of the most highly anticipated matches of the year so far with Samoa Joe. Roman, as Brock Lesnar was making his exit, Paul Heyman talked his stick. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. All right, we're leaving. There's nothing else for us to do here. And, Kurt was like, well, wait a minute. Do you not want to hear my ideas for SummerSlam? Paulie responds with, well, I didn't know that we were in a creative meeting. And I know you're still getting used to your position on Raw. And you got your little love triangle shit going on. Or whatever the hell's going on your phone. And that got you a little distracted. But this is not how we do things. My client, Brock Lesnar, is leaving. He starts to leave the ring. Out comes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is looking for his title shot against the man, the beast, Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock is like, no. And Paul Heyman is like, yeah. The two men that beat The Undertaker should fight each other at SummerSlam. And immediately comes out Samoa Joe. The crowd gets hype. You hear chants for Joe. Fucking, I don't know why you didn't put the title on Joe. I don't know why. But they should have put the title on Joe. So Joe comes out. He's upset. He's more mad at Brock. He tells Brock that I took you to the limits. Nobody else on this roster has done that. He also says to Roman Reigns, you haven't even beaten me yet. So I deserve a rematch for the Universal Championship, which is fine. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I didn't see anything wrong with just giving Joe a rematch. Despite everything, despite Roman, whatever the fuck he did to Bronx, give this man a rematch. Now, again, he says that, and also he says that you lost your match last night, and he said, F that, don't worry about me losing. Where the hell is Braun Strowman? And if you can find him, let me know, because I'm not finished with him yet. Or something along the lines of that nature. So that was a great segment. At the tail end of this segment, as Joe was walking back up the ramp, it was announced that these two will be meeting next week. Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe to crown the number one contender. Now, with Joe already winning 2 matches out of the 2 times that they met, you would have to believe that Roman is going to go over. Now, I wouldn't mind this angle being played with Braun Strowman coming out, disrupting this match, causing a DQ, giving Samoa Joe the win over Roman Reigns. Wouldn't mind it. Not at all. Not at all. I think Joe versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam is a way better main event versus Brock versus Roman. Even though I know you're going to give Roman the title at WrestleMania, I get it. But you got to get to WrestleMania. You got to build other stars. You got Finn Balor playing in the background, and you got goddamn all these guys just out of the title picture. Finn Balor, you got Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. These 4 names should be somewhere in the title picture. At least running some type of gauntlet or over the top rope challenge to get a title shot. It would make way more sense. Backstage segment with Corey Graves and Kurt Angle. It seems as though Kurt Angle is going to come clean next week, you guys. So we'll finally get to the bottom of his whole love triangle angle. You have Tozawa versus Cedric Alexander. Tozawa and Cedric Alexander versus Neville and Noah and Dar. My first thoughts is fire Alicia Fox. Please get her away from 205 Live. Get her away from Noah and Dar. Cedric Alexander.